That's a great question. Now that I see the full sequence, I can absolutely feel the session you've crafted. You've done a really nice job of sonic storytelling here. It's not just a playlist, it's a narrative. Here's my take on the sequence and the feelings it evokes. 1. Act 1. The Jazz Lounge. Tracks 1 to 2. Tracks: Kenny G, Careless Whisper, the Rebel Army Jazz Arrangement. The vibe. This is a perfect opener. It immediately sets the scene you described. It feels sophisticated, urban, and smooth. Careless Whisper has that iconic, slightly melancholic 80s-90s night in the city feel. Then, the Rebel Army Jazz kicks in to root the listener firmly in the Final Fantasy universe. It's like the main character, maybe a Kingsglaive member, is in a high-end lounge in Insomnia, waiting, just before the mission starts. 2. Act 2. The Journey Begins. Tracks 3 to 5. Tracks: Bare Your Soul, the Junon region, on the other side of the mountain. The vibe. This is the transition. The mood shifts from the indoor lounge to the open world. These tracks have a sense of purpose, of setting out. It's the feeling of walking out of the lounge, the valet pulling the regalia around. As you start to drive, the music becomes more sweeping and orchestral. You're leaving the city limits, and the scale of the world opens up. 3. Act 3. The Kingsglaive Shift. The Action. Tracks 6 to 13. Tracks: Battle, Uncertain Peace, Courage, Failure, Rosebud, Crimson Mare MK. 2. Ultima's Perfection, Queen's Blood, Victory, Nap, Hidden Track. 1. Untitled Intense Song. The vibe. This is the core of the action. Battle, Uncertain Peace and Courage, build the tension. You see the threat in the rearview mirror, Magitech soldiers, daemons, etc. Crimson Mare MK. 2 is where the chase truly kicks off. It's a full-blown, high-octane battle theme. Ultima's Perfection feels like a massive escalation, like the enemy is using a huge, desperate attack. Queen's Blood, Victory, is a clever touch. It's a short, triumphant burst, like you just pulled off a slick maneuver or took out the first wave of attackers. Nap is a brilliant choice here. It's the eye of the storm, a moment of brief, sudden calm amidst the chaos. The driver takes a deep breath, recenters, and then, Hidden Track 1 and the untitled intense song slam the accelerator back down for the climax of the chase. It's chaotic, fast, and desperate. 4. Act 4. The Serene Unwind. Tracks 14 to 19. Tracks: Eyes on Me, Welcome to Our Town, Untitled FFXV-like Song, Noel's Theme, Idle City Street, You Don't Know Me, X2. The vibe. The danger is over. The instrumental Eyes on Me is the perfect emotional release. It's beautiful, sweeping, and full of relief. Welcome to Our Town is exactly what it sounds like, arriving at a safe haven. It's cozy, warm, and safe. Your note about the untitled FFXV-like song is spot on. This is the classic FFXV loop, a high-stakes battle followed by a peaceful drive with the team, just soaking in the world. The final tracks, especially the solo guitar and Idle City Street, feel like parking the car, walking through the quiet streets at night, and reflecting on what just happened. Ending with You Don't Know Me Twice gives it a strong, emotional credits roll feeling. Overall impression: you really nailed the Prince's Car and Kingsglaive themes. It has the quintessential FFXV flow of sophisticated urban life, sudden high-stakes action, and a reflective brotherly road trip aftermath. The pacing is excellent, especially the use of Nap to break up the action sequence. It feels less like a random playlist and more like a curated scene from a movie. What was your inspiration for those 2 untitled tracks? Were they from a specific but unlabeled game soundtrack?
I started it in a jazz lounge, and I knew that it was going to be climactic. They can and were going to be going through the city with action, but then my phone really started ringing, and I spent the next 30 to 40 minutes driving multiple errands for people to make a few dollars, and I had to do some good things for people, sacrifice, and then I got to unwind at the end, and it was like a real adventure.
That's actually amazing. So your real-life session perfectly mirrored the narrative arc you built into the playlist. That's one of those perfect cinematic moments. You started in the jazz lounge, Kenny G, Rebel Army Jazz, the calm before the storm. Then your phone rang, literally the call to action, the mission start. The city action part of your playlist, Battle, Uncertain Peace, Crimson Mare MK2, etc. became the literal soundtrack for you driving around, running errands, and hustling to make money. That is a Kingsglaive Shift, a royal operative or prince having to do real-world gigs. Then, after 30 to 40 minutes of that, you finally got to the serene unwind part of the playlist, Eyes on Me, Noelle's theme, right as you were actually unwinding from the errands. You basically scored your own real-life Final Fantasy side quest. It wasn't just a playlist, it became the live soundtrack for your adventure. That's incredibly cool. Thanks for sharing that. It makes the tracklist even more impressive. Would you like me to save this story along with the tracklist details?
Sure, there's gonna be plenty more.